Yeah, what else, dude? We went to interview Donald Trump. And that was crazy, bro. I'm like, yeah, I couldn't even believe that we got to do it, you know? And I'd had a long week. It was a long week. Everybody has a long week, blah, blah, blah. But I'd had a long week, and then we go up there, and now there's like a lot of Secret Service getting into, it was at Bedminster Golf Course. So there's a lot of Secret Service getting in there. So you got to stop here, and this guy kind of touches your pockets or whatever, and this guy, you know, somebody's reading your ribs or whatever. They got a mystic out there reading your ribs. They got you know, people patting you down, people patting you up. One dude's patting you up. I'm like, God, this guy's, you know, obviously doesn't have a wife. And so, yeah, you stop. There's a couple locations you got to stop and get frisked and patted and wanded and wizarded. And, yeah, they just ask you craziest questions, you know, like they'll be like, what's your middle name, you know? And then they'll be like, oh, does your mother fuck a lot? And you're like, what? All right, you know, but they're trying to, you know, see where you're at and see if you know anybody from Russia or whatever. And then, so I get there, and I had like 40 minutes from when I got there to when it was time to do the interview. So only had a limited amount of time, and I had to, you know, I had my clothes with me. I had my suit coat, and I had 2 shirts. I had one pair of boots, one pair of regular shoes, and bathroom kit, hairspray, just to you know look the best that you could. And I was super nervous to get in the room, and I'm just kind of making sure, you know, the producers, Zach and Nick, are there. My tour manager, Bizzle, is there, my right-hand man. And so we were, you know, just getting everything, like, organized and making sure it all looks, you know, just like we normally do, making sure everything is legitimate. And then they had like the flags in the background. I'm like, holy shit, bro, this is like the damn Pledge of Allegiance came to life, bro. It was, you know, it just felt super real at that moment. And there's like there was a Secret Service guy kind of over just like in one corner of the room. I believe it was just a guy, and he was kind of near the restroom, and so I was like kind of afraid to go piss or whatever because I didn't want, you know, I don't know if they're like listening to you piss or whatever. I don't know what everything that they do or whatever, you know, if he's like thinks I'm like, you know, using pee or piss or whatever to do like Morse code into the water or something, you know, I don't know all their training or whatever. So I'm like super scared in there. And I ended up just peeing in they had a cup, like a red Solo cup that I brought in there with me. I peed in it and then just poured it into the toilet, dude, like along the side of the toilet wall so it would be real quiet. You know, I think I was getting super paranoid. And then, so anyway, it starts to get like, we talk with his advisors. People start to kind of come in just to make sure everything's cool. And this room has all been like, searched or whatever. And, you know, drug dog, bomb dog, sword. I think they had a sword dog come in. 2 dogs just came in. We're like, who the fuck are these dogs, dude? You know, and one of them ate a thing of peanut butter crackers that my buddy had. But so anyway, so we're sitting there and like, you know, I'm going through like my questions and my thoughts and, you know, and yeah, I was just nervous. Like, you know, yeah, I was just mostly I was just nervous, I think. You know, I'd met Donald Trump before a few times at UFC, and I'd met his sons enough so that, you know, right when I saw him, I could say, hey, you know, I met you at Dana White. And yeah, so he comes in and I kind of walked over after he came in because he was like not in the little place where we were shooting yet, and just like, you know, said, hey, and just let him know I was thankful for his time. And then we sat down and Sorry if this is getting boring. I'm just trying to think. We sat down and then we just went through the interview, you know. And I thought one thing that was nice, I thought it was nice that he said that his son had been the plug to have me come in, you know. I know Dana White had obviously helped a ton and made it happen, but that he'd asked his son, is this a guy's podcast that I should do? So I thought that was kind of neat, just to know that he, like, you know, checks in with his son Barron or whatever about different stuff, you know. So that was yeah, it was cool. It just went so fast. I only had a kind of a limited amount of time, and it went so fast. And then next thing you know, we had to wrap it up, and I was like, I couldn't. I wanted to ask like one more good question, but I didn't know what to ask. And I know that. Sorry, I'm saying a lot, guys. I think I'm nervous even reciting this for some reason. I think I just feel. Yeah, I just feel like a lot. I think I just feel like a lot of energy or something. I'm not sure. I feel kind of activated, I guess. That's where I'm at today. So I had one more question, and I wanted to ask him, Michael Jackson used to live in one of the buildings that he owned. So I wanted to ask him about that because, you know, we've been trying to learn about Michael Jackson. So, yeah, that was it. And then it went pretty quick, and then he had to go do something. There was some, you know, the next thing that he had to go do. And then some of the workers came up that worked at the golf course, and we walked around and took some photos. I got to meet Ivanka Trump and her husband, Jared, which was pretty cool. And it's rich there, dude. They got a pool where all the umbrellas are nice. You know what I'm talking about? The umbrellas are nicer than, it's the kind of umbrella where they take it away when the rain comes. You ever been to somebody's place like that? Like when it rains, they put the umbrellas away because they don't want them to get messed up. And it's like, well, that's its job. So they had nice umbrellas. They were like probably 200 thread count or 700. And, yeah, and the umbrellas, I think, had a special pattern on them or something. This is what somebody was telling me. One of the security guys was telling me there's a special pattern on the umbrellas where birds will not defecate on that umbrella if they're passing by because it's like an optical illusion or something. So I thought that was pretty cool, man. When you got enough money or enough nice stuff where you know, the birds aren't even shitting on you. You're like, damn, that's nice. You know? And that's crazy to know that just because if you're poor, the birds shit on you. So that was like, that kind of blew my mind. I was like, damn, I want to make enough money one day where the bird, where, you know, I'm free of these, you know, these chains of bird shit or whatever that bind us. What else was interesting about it? I'm not trying to brag about it. I just think that some people would think that it's interesting. You know, I wanted to talk with him. I wanted to learn more about his family a little bit if I could. Yeah, I wanted to ask that Michael Jackson question and I forgot. I wanted to ask if I thought that if he thought that he had a better chance of running against Biden or Kamala. And yeah, and then I just wanted to talk to him. You know, I wanted to, you know, I know he had a brother that passed away from alcoholism, and I wanted to just to talk about that, just to learn about it a little bit and see what that was like, you know, because I know that a lot of times we talk about that stuff on here, and if there's a way to talk about it with people. So, but yeah, I was super nervous. It even makes me nervous, I think, even thinking about it. I wore like a suit coat or something. And that made me, you know, that just makes you fucking nervous. You know, you just feel like a damn stuffed animal when you put those things on. You feel like just a little teddy bear or something. You know, you feel like you're just supposed to do, you know, like you're just supposed to get angry at your secretary or something. And and then cheat on your spouse or whatever. Just you just feel like you just can't handle it, kind of shit. Like those jackets kind of make me feel like that too. But I wanted to be respectful. It's a respectful environment. And I'd never gotten to talk to a president. I mean, I'd gotten to see one kind of in passing, and but it was just fascinating. So that was fascinating, man. And then, this was one thing that was really cool. So afterwards, there's a restaurant at the golf club in Bedminster. It's really, I mean, it's beautiful, but the grass all looks like it actually went to supercuts. Not like just somebody did it with a mower. It's like like somebody. It's like the lawn looks like it waited in a chair for its appointment with a barber. It's just nice. And and there's Secret Service. This is the craziest part. So there's people playing golf, and then there's just secret little setups of Secret Service people with I don't know if they're cannons or whatever, hand cannons or something, artillery just placed in different spots. So yeah, I think you just got to be careful where you hit your ball over there. But so there's a restaurant. So we go up there, and I'm sitting and I'm eating dinner. Before I have to leave, I'm getting some dinner with one of his staff members, and we're sitting at a table. It's just me and him. The guy I'd been communicating with, his name is Alex. Nice guy, really creative guy. And then Trump comes up for dinner at some point. I didn't know this. And they play the song "Proud to Be an American" when he comes up, right? Which is it's crazy. It's a vibe. But they play it, and so the song, so everybody's standing up and kind of clapping, and you think the song's over, right? It's a kind of a long song. And then it's like, you think it's like over, and then it's like, and I'm proud of, it does it one more time. You're like, all right, let's go for this ride again. And then he sits there, at his table, he keeps the iPad with the aux cord or whatever. And so throughout the meal, he's just playing songs. He played, what did he play? He played some Poison, I think, Unskinny Bop at one point. I think, I'm trying to remember, he played, during Soup, they played Trick Daddy, which I thought was awesome. I've never had Soup to Trick Daddy. And then, Baby, 'Cause I'm a Thug. And then, at dessert, during dessert, they played Smooth Criminal, which I thought was the best thing ever, bro. So anyway, the whole thing was just interesting. It was like, and it all happened so fast. And then I left immediately to the airport. So it just all happened so fast.